What if Hollywood's most unforgettable women weren't surrounded by mystery because of who they were, but because society refused to understand them? For decades, whispers, rumors, and carefully crafted public images blurred the line between truth and speculation. Tonight, we'll uncover 7 remarkable stories that challenged expectations, shattered stereotypes, and forever changed entertainment history. Some became pioneers, others became legends, but every one of them proved that authenticity is often far more powerful than gossip. Stay until the end. Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn never fit comfortably into Hollywood's traditional image of a leading lady, and that was exactly what made her unforgettable. At a time when studios expected actresses to embody elegance, softness, and unquestioning femininity, Hepburn projected confidence, intelligence, and remarkable independence. She wore tailored trousers when most women avoided them in public, spoke with unmistakable confidence, and built a career without relying on conventional expectations. Those qualities earned admiration from millions, while also fueling decades of unnecessary speculation. Throughout her career, rumors frequently surrounded Hepburn's private life. Some questioned her relationships, while others attempted to explain her independence by creating stories that lacked credible evidence. Historians generally agree there is no reliable proof supporting claims that she was anything other than the woman she publicly lived as. Instead, those rumors reflected the attitudes of an era that often viewed women who challenged social expectations with suspicion rather than respect. Hepburn refused to change simply to satisfy public opinion. She continued choosing demanding roles, speaking her mind, and living according to her own values, instead of allowing studio executives or gossip columns to define her identity. That determination helped her become one of the most honored actresses in American film history, winning 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, a record that still stands today. Looking back, Katharine Hepburn's story says far more about society than it does about the rumors themselves. Her confidence, intelligence, and willingness to live authentically challenged outdated ideas about femininity and success. Rather than allowing speculation to shape her legacy, she allowed her extraordinary talent, unforgettable performances, and unwavering individuality to speak louder than gossip ever could. Marlene Dietrich. Marlene Dietrich understood something few Hollywood stars of her generation fully embraced. Mystery could be more powerful than explanation. Long before conversations about gender expression entered mainstream culture, she challenged expectations simply by refusing to follow the rules. With her unmistakable voice, elegant confidence, and striking screen presence, Dietrich became one of cinema's most unforgettable icons. Yet it wasn't only her talent that fascinated audiences. It was her fearless willingness to present herself differently from every other leading lady of her era. Unlike many actresses who carefully protected a traditionally feminine image, Dietrich confidently wore tailored tuxedos, men's suits, and top hats both on screen and in public appearances. Those fashion choices shocked some viewers while inspiring others. Her androgynous style became part of her artistic identity, encouraging endless speculation about her private life. However, historians have found no credible evidence suggesting she was anything other than the woman she publicly lived as. Most of the rumors reflected public curiosity rather than documented fact. Rather than denying every whisper, Dietrich transformed ambiguity into part of her legendary appeal. She understood that confidence often speaks louder than explanation. Instead of allowing critics to define her image, she carefully shaped it herself, proving that individuality could become a powerful form of self-expression. Her influence extended far beyond fashion. Dietrich demonstrated that strength, elegance, and independence could exist together without apology. Decades later, designers, performers, and cultural historians continue celebrating her willingness to challenge outdated expectations through style alone. Looking back today, Marlene Dietrich's legacy is not built on rumor, but on courage, creativity, and authenticity. She showed the world that true confidence comes from embracing your own identity rather than living according to someone else's expectations, making her an enduring symbol of timeless Hollywood glamour and fearless individuality. Christine Jorgensen. Christine Jorgensen became one of the most recognizable names in America almost overnight, but it wasn't because she sought fame. After serving in the United States Army, she traveled to Denmark, where she underwent hormone therapy and gender-affirming medical procedures. When she returned to the United States in 1952, newspapers transformed her deeply personal journey into front-page news, introducing millions of Americans to a subject they had rarely discussed publicly before. Her story immediately challenged long-held assumptions about identity and gender. The public reaction was unlike anything seen before. Headlines appeared across the country, reporters competed for interviews, and every detail of her private life suddenly became national conversation. A personal letter written to her family was leaked to the press, removing any chance of privacy. While many readers were simply curious, others struggled to understand something that had never been openly discussed in mainstream society. Christine suddenly found herself representing an entire community, even though she had never asked for that responsibility. Instead of disappearing from public life, Christine chose to educate rather than hide. She gave lectures, appeared in interviews, performed in nightclubs, and later published her autobiography, hoping to replace fear with understanding. Her calm demeanor, intelligence, and dignity gradually shifted public conversations from sensational headlines toward greater awareness and compassion. Christine Jorgensen's influence extended far beyond her own experience. She opened doors for future generations by proving that authenticity requires extraordinary courage, especially when the world is watching. Although she faced intense public scrutiny, she refused to let criticism define her life. Today, her legacy is remembered not simply because she made history, but because she helped countless people see identity through a more human, respectful, and compassionate perspective. Candy Darling. Candy Darling didn't simply admire the glamour of classic Hollywood, she dedicated herself to recreating it. Inspired by legendary screen actresses, she carefully developed an elegant style defined by graceful movements, refined fashion, and timeless sophistication. By the late 1960s, she had become one of Andy Warhol's most memorable collaborators, appearing in underground films while building a reputation that blurred the boundaries between performance, identity, and artistic expression. Wherever she appeared, Candy left an unforgettable impression that fascinated both admirers and critics. As a transgender woman, Candy lived during a period when public understanding of gender identity remained extremely limited. Yet she refused to let labels define her entire story. Instead, she wanted audiences to recognize her beauty, talent, and individuality before anything else. Every public appearance reflected careful attention to detail, from her classic hairstyles and glamorous wardrobe to the calm confidence she projected in front of cameras. That dedication transformed her into an enduring cultural icon. Despite gaining recognition within New York's creative community, mainstream success remained difficult to achieve. Society often viewed transgender people through curiosity rather than understanding, making acceptance far more complicated than admiration. Even as influential artists celebrated her presence and photographers eagerly captured her image, Candy continued facing barriers that limited broader opportunities throughout her career. Today, Candy Darling's legacy extends well beyond fashion or celebrity. She demonstrated that authenticity could become a powerful form of artistic expression, inspiring future generations to embrace individuality with confidence and grace. Her story reminds us that true influence comes not from fitting society's expectations, but from remaining faithful to who you are. Decades later, Her elegance, resilience, and fearless self-expression continue inspiring artists, performers, and audiences around the world. April Ashley. April Ashley's life was a remarkable story of courage, ambition, and resilience. Born in Liverpool, England, she overcame a difficult childhood before moving to Paris, where she discovered an opportunity to reinvent her future. Performing at the famous Le Carrousel Cabaret, she captivated audiences with her elegance and confidence, quickly becoming one of the venue's brightest stars. After undergoing gender-affirming surgery in Casablanca in 1960, April embraced the life she had long dreamed of, opening the door to a successful modeling career and international recognition. Her beauty and sophistication soon attracted the attention of photographers, fashion designers, and magazine editors. She appeared in British Vogue and moved comfortably among celebrities and members of high society. For a brief period, it seemed that April had finally found the acceptance she had worked so hard to achieve. However, that sense of stability changed dramatically when a newspaper publicly revealed details about her past without her consent. The media attention that followed transformed her private life into a national controversy. Public fascination quickly replaced admiration, and the legal battle surrounding her marriage became one of Britain's most significant court cases involving transgender rights. Although the ruling brought painful consequences, April refused to let disappointment define her future. Instead, she continued speaking openly about her experiences, becoming an important voice for understanding and equality. Decades later, changing attitudes allowed many people to appreciate her courage in an entirely different light. In 2012, she was appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire for her contributions to society, recognizing not only her personal achievements, but also her lasting influence on equality and human dignity. Her story remains an inspiring example of perseverance, authenticity, and hope. Coccinelle. Coccinelle became one of Europe's most recognizable entertainers by combining extraordinary confidence with unmistakable elegance. During the 1950s, she captivated audiences in Paris with glamorous performances at celebrated cabarets, where her beauty, charisma, and stage presence quickly made her a rising star. At a time when conversations about gender identity remained largely hidden from public life, Coccinelle stood before audiences with remarkable confidence, becoming a symbol of visibility and personal transformation. After undergoing gender-affirming surgery in Casablanca in 1958, her fame expanded well beyond the nightclub stage. Newspapers across Europe reported her story, and public curiosity grew rapidly. Unlike many people whose personal lives remained private, Coccinelle's journey unfolded in front of millions. Admirers celebrated her elegance and courage, while others viewed her through the lens of novelty and sensational headlines. Even so, she continued building a successful career, refusing to allow public opinion to define her future. Her growing popularity also influenced broader conversations about identity and acceptance. For many people, Coccinelle represented the possibility of living authentically, despite social expectations and widespread misunderstanding. Although media coverage sometimes focused more on her personal history than her professional achievements, she consistently demonstrated grace, confidence, and resilience throughout her career. Later in life, Coccinelle devoted much of her energy to supporting the transgender community in France, helping others find guidance, understanding, and hope during difficult moments. Her advocacy became just as meaningful as her performances, extending her influence far beyond entertainment. Today, Coccinelle is remembered not simply as a glamorous performer, but as a pioneering figure whose courage helped challenge long-standing stereotypes. Her remarkable journey continues, inspiring people around the world, proving that authenticity, compassion, and perseverance can create a legacy that lasts far beyond the spotlight. Barbara Stanwyck. Barbara Stanwyck earned her place among Hollywood's greatest actresses through determination, versatility, and unmistakable screen presence. Unlike many leading ladies of her era, she rarely relied on glamour alone to capture audiences. Instead, she portrayed strong, intelligent, and emotionally complex women who often matched or even outperformed the men around them. Whether appearing in dramatic films, westerns, or classic film noir, Stanwyck projected confidence that felt genuine rather than carefully manufactured. That independence became one of her greatest strengths, but it also fueled years of unnecessary speculation. Throughout her career, Barbara carefully guarded her private life, revealing little beyond what she believed audiences needed to know. That privacy, combined with her confident personality and unconventional screen roles, encouraged gossip about her relationships and personal identity. Historians, however, have found no credible evidence supporting many of those long-standing rumors. Most discussions surrounding her private life remain speculation rather than documented fact, reflecting society's tendency to question women who refuse to conform to traditional expectations. Stanwyck never allowed public whispers to distract her from her work. She continued choosing challenging roles that demanded emotional depth, earning the admiration of directors, fellow actors, and generations of movie lovers. Her performances demonstrated remarkable strength without sacrificing vulnerability, proving that authenticity could be far more compelling than carefully constructed public images. Looking back today, Barbara Stanwyck's legacy is defined not by rumors, but by extraordinary talent, professionalism, and resilience. She challenged outdated ideas simply by living life on her own terms and refusing to apologize for her independence. Decades after her greatest performances, audiences continue celebrating her unforgettable career, recognizing that true greatness comes from character, dedication, and the courage to remain authentic despite public expectations. Hollywood's greatest legends remind us that history is rarely as simple as the headlines suggest. Behind every rumor, every photograph, and every public image is a real person with a unique story. Which woman surprised you the most, and whose journey changed your perspective? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating Hollywood stories. Thank you for watching.